Welcome to 15-Minute Discourse. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into some fascinating topics. Today it's alien encounters. I've got a whole collection here of research articles, personal accounts, even some historical snippets.
Cool.
Really, it's like piecing together a cosmic puzzle.
I like that.
So, what stands out to you about how our perception of alien encounters has evolved over time?
Well, it's really interesting how these early accounts, they often feature these benevolent human-like beings called Nordics.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about those.
They were described as tall, blonde, and almost angelic figures.
Right, and that's a stark contrast to the whole gray alien archetype that we see all over pop culture today.
Right.
These Nordics, they were often seen as wise and even spiritual beings. Some researchers suggest that their image might even be rooted in like ancient myths and folklore about celestial beings. What do you think about that?
Oh, absolutely. There's a theory that these early encounters, they may have influenced our collective unconscious, which in turn kind of shaped our expectations of extraterrestrial contact.
Right, it's like setting the stage.
Exactly. But as time went on, the narratives, they took a darker turn, particularly in the U.S. with the emergence of the terror abduction phenomenon.
All right, it's like a completely different vibe.
It is.
These accounts are characterized by a sense of dread and helplessness.
Yeah. People report being abducted against their will, subjected to invasive medical procedures, and left with lingering trauma.
That's scary stuff. And there's this common thread in these narratives. It's called the capture phase.
Yeah, individuals, they describe experiencing sleep paralysis, vivid hallucinations of bright lights, and the appearance of these humanoid figures often described as grays.
Yeah, it's almost like a waking nightmare. This sense of paralysis and the presence of these strange beings, it creates a deeply unsettling experience.
For sure, and then there's the Oz factor, a term coined by researcher Jenny Randles to describe the altered state of consciousness reported by many abductees.
Okay, so what exactly is that?
We'll think of it as a heightened sense of awareness, but coupled with a feeling of detachment from reality.
It's like being in two places at once.
Yeah, some individuals, they describe it as feeling like they're in a dream while fully conscious. Others report a distortion of time and space.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, this altered state, it makes it difficult to discern what's real and what's not.
So it's like adding another layer of confusion on top of everything else. It's really
Yeah.
fascinating how these accounts often involve a very specific sequence of events.
Yeah,
Following that capture phase comes the examination phase.
right. Abductees report being subjected to various procedures, often focused on reproductive biology.
It's interesting how those descriptions are remarkably consistent across different accounts,
Yeah, suggesting there's like a pattern.
almost like a shared experience.
It is, however, skeptics argue that these accounts could be influenced by pre-existing beliefs.
Media portrayals,
Sure.
or even sleep paralysis, which can induce hallucinations and a sense of being held down.
That's a valid point. I mean,
Yeah.
we have to consider the possibility that psychological and neurological factors might be playing a role in shaping these narratives.
Yeah.
But then there's also that conference phase that often follows the examination.
Right. During this phase, abductees, they claim to communicate with their captors.
So what are they saying?
Well, the content of these communications varies widely. Some receive warnings about humanity's future, while others are given messages about universal peace or environmentalism.
So it's like a mixed bag.
It is. It's like a cosmic morality play, with these beings acting as messengers or guides.
It makes you wonder, are these messages genuine attempts at communication, or are they simply projections of our own hopes and fears?
Yeah, that's a question that continues to baffle researchers.
Well, and what's even more fascinating is that these terror abduction narratives, they seem to be largely U.S.-centric. It's true, when we look at accounts from other cultures, we find a very different perspective.
So, for example, in Britain, encounters with those tall, blonde Nordics are often seen as benevolent or even enlightening experiences.
Yeah.
They're perceived as wise and benevolent guardians rather than threatening abductors.
Right, and this suggests that cultural beliefs and folklore, they play a significant role in shaping our interpretations of these encounters.
Like a cultural lens.
Exactly. Our expectations and preconceived notions, they influence how we perceive and process these experiences.
Now, speaking of cultural interpretations, it's interesting how children's accounts of alien encounters differ from those of adults.
Well, some researchers believe that children are less influenced by media and cultural stereotypes.
They haven't been exposed to as much.
Right, making their accounts potentially more credible.
And children haven't yet developed the same level of skepticism or awareness of societal norms.
Exactly. Their descriptions are often spontaneous, vivid, and devoid of the self-consciousness that can sometimes color adult narratives.
And researcher Bud Hopkins, he even developed a controversial tool called the Hopkins Image Recognition Test.
Right, the
Yeah,
HRs.
to assess the validity of children's accounts.
And the test involves showing children a series of images, including those of gray aliens,
Okay,
and observing their reactions.
interesting.
Hopkins claimed that children who had reported abductions reacted more strongly to the gray images than control groups.
But the methodology of the H-chart has been widely criticized,
It has.
and its results remain highly debated.
Yeah, despite the controversy surrounding the chart, it's undeniable that children's accounts often possess a certain raw authenticity that can be really compelling.
Right, they describe events with a chilling lack of doubt or hesitation.
Yeah, it's their unwavering belief in their experiences that makes their accounts so intriguing and difficult to just dismiss.
But even with these compelling testimonies, the lack of definitive physical evidence remains a central challenge in the study of alien encounters.
It is proponents of the extraterrestrial hypothesis they often point to unexplained marks, scars, and even implanted objects found in alleged abductees as evidence of alien contact. But these physical traces are often cited as like tangible proof of, extraterrestrial intervention.
Right.
But skeptics argue that these marks and objects that could be explained by more mundane phenomena.
Okay, like what?
Well, sleep paralysis, for instance, that can cause hallucinations of pressure
Right,
and even pain.
I see.
This could explain some of the marks and scars that abductees report.
That makes sense.
And then implanted objects, those could potentially be the result of self-inflicted wounds.
Okay.
Or even hoaxes.
Interesting.
And the lack of a clear chain of custody for these objects makes it difficult to verify their authenticity.
Yeah, that's true.
And the use of hypnosis in abduction investigations, that adds another layer of complexity to the debate.
Right. I can see how that would be controversial.
It is, while some believe that hypnosis can help unlock repressed memories, others caution against its reliability.
So is it a reliable tool or not?
Well, hypnosis is a powerful tool, but it can influence memory recall.
Oh, so it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, there's a risk that memories retrieved through hypnosis could be fabricated.
Right.
Or distorted.
So you can't really be sure what's real and what's not.
Exactly. It makes it very challenging to determine the validity of those memories.
So we're left with this fascinating paradox. We have these compelling accounts, often corroborated by multiple witnesses,
Right.
but we lack the concrete physical evidence that would satisfy the scientific community.
It's the ultimate clash between anecdotal evidence and scientific rigor.
So how do you bridge that gap?
Well, the question of whether these encounters are real or not hinges on how much weight we give to personal testimonies versus tangible proof.
It's like a balancing act.
It is this tension between belief and skepticism.
Mm.
It lies at the heart of the alien encounter debate. It forces us to confront our own biases and preconceptions about the nature of reality.
It challenges us to really examine the limits of our knowledge and the possibility that there might be phenomena beyond our current understanding.
Phenomena that we just haven't even begun to grasp.
Right. And even if we set aside the question of physical evidence,
Yeah.
the sheer diversity of alien encounter narratives is intriguing.
It is, some accounts portray extraterrestrials as researchers conducting scientific studies on humanity.
Really, like we're lab rats.
Well, these narratives often depict aliens as detached observers, fascinated by our biology and behavior.
I see.
They collect samples, they conduct experiments, and they gather data as if we were specimens in a cosmic laboratory.
I mean, it's not the most flattering portrayal, but I can see how that would be a theory.
And then there are accounts that suggest aliens are here to help us.
Okay, so a little more benevolent.
Yeah, these benevolent beings, they warn us about impending dangers.
Like guardian angels?
In a way, they offer guidance on spiritual matters or even share advanced technologies to aid our progress.
It's like they want to give us a leg up.
Yeah, these narratives tap into our yearning for a higher power
Sure.
or a guiding force.
Right.
They offer a sense of hope and purpose in a sometimes chaotic and uncertain world.
And of course, there's the darker side of the spectrum. The accounts that depict aliens as malevolent entities with sinister intentions.
These narratives, they fuel our fears of the unknown and the potential threats lurking in the cosmos.
So it's like the alien invasion trope.
Yeah, they paint a picture of extraterrestrials as conquerors, manipulators, or even enslavers.
Not a good picture.
No, these narratives exploit our primal anxieties about invasion and subjugation.
So these themes, they seem to be recurring across different cultures and time periods,
They do.
which suggests that they're tapping into some pretty deep-seated archetypes within the human psyche.
Exactly. They reflect our anxieties about our place in the universe, our vulnerabilities as a species, and our fascination with the unknown.
So it's not really about aliens at all.
Well, the question of whether these narratives are based on actual experiences or simply products of our collective imagination is a complex one.
Right, we can't really know for sure.
But regardless of their origin, they offer valuable insights into the human condition.
What do you mean?
Well, they reveal our hopes, our fears, our
Uh-huh.
aspirations, our longing for connection, our search for meaning, and our enduring curiosity about what lies beyond the boundaries of our world.
It's like a reflection of ourselves projected onto the cosmos.
Exactly.
So that brings us to the question of what would happen if we were to find definitive proof of extraterrestrial life? How would such a discovery impact humanity?
Well, the implications of such a discovery would be profound.
In what way?
It would shatter our anthropocentric worldview, forcing us to reconsider our place in the cosmic scheme of things.
So like a paradigm shift.
Exactly. Our understanding of life's origins and prevalence would be revolutionized.
Right. We wouldn't be alone anymore.
We would no longer be the sole proprietors of consciousness and intelligence in the universe.
I mean, that's a huge concept to wrap your head around.
It would challenge our religious beliefs,
Sure.
our scientific paradigms,
Right.
and our social structures.
Wow. So it would impact every aspect of our lives.
The impact on our collective psyche would be immense.
So how would we react?
Well, some believe that such discovery would unite humanity,
Really, like, bring us all together?
transcending nationalistic and cultural divisions in the face of something so much grander than ourselves.
That's a hopeful perspective.
It is, but others fear that it would lead to chaos and conflict, as different groups vie for power, resources, or technological advantage in the wake of this revelation.
So it could go either way.
Yeah, history shows that contact between different cultures on Earth hasn't always been peaceful.
That's true.
We would have to be prepared for the possibility of exploitation, manipulation, or even aggression from a more advanced civilization.
I mean, that's a sobering thought.
The potential risks are significant, but so are the potential rewards.
Like what?
Contact with an extraterrestrial civilization could usher in an era of unprecedented scientific and technological advancement. We could gain access to new forms of energy, medicine, and transportation.
It could solve some of humanity's most pressing challenges.
It could, but it's crucial that we approach any potential contact with extreme caution and careful consideration.
All right. We don't want to rush into anything.
We need to prioritize the long-term well-being of our planet and our species.
Of course. So this brings us to the debate surrounding active SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence.
Right.
Should we actively broadcast our presence into the cosmos, or is it wiser to adopt the more passive listening approach?
It's a complex ethical dilemma
I can see that.
with compelling arguments on both sides.
So what are the arguments?
Proponents of active SETI, they argue that reaching out could accelerate scientific progress,
Okay.
foster intercultural exchange,
Yeah.
and even provide solutions to global challenges.
So they're thinking about the potential benefits.
Exactly. They believe that the potential benefits of collaboration and shared knowledge outweigh the risks.
But what about those who advocate for caution?
Well, they emphasize the unknown and potentially hostile nature of extraterrestrial civilizations.
They're playing it safe.
They point to historical examples of contact on Earth where the more technologically advanced society often exploited or even destroyed the less advanced one.
So it's a cautionary tale.
It's a chilling reminder that we can't assume benevolent intentions from an alien species.
Even if they were peaceful.
Yeah, even if they were peaceful, the impact on our social and cultural structures could be overwhelming.
I can imagine.
Imagine the religious upheaval, the political ramifications,
Sure.
the sheer psychological shock of encountering a truly alien intelligence.
It would rock our world.
It would require immense adaptation and a re-evaluation of our fundamental beliefs and values.
So we're left with this profound question. Do we dare to reach out into the unknown, or do we play it safe and remain silent?
Yeah, it's a decision that could really shape the destiny of humanity. I mean,
Yeah.
one path leads to potential enlightenment and the other to potential catastrophe.
It's like we're standing at a cosmic crossroads,
Yeah.
faced with a choice that could have unimaginable consequences.
And that's why it's so crucial to approach this topic with intellectual honesty. critical thinking, and a respect for diverse perspectives.
Absolutely. We need to engage in open and informed dialogue, considering all sides of the argument
Yeah,
before we make any decisions that could impact the future of our species.
for sure. And even if we never find that definitive proof of extraterrestrial life, the very act of exploring these questions can be so enriching.
It really can. It forces us to examine our own assumptions, our place in the universe,
Yeah.
and the potential for life beyond our world.
It expands our horizons, it challenges our preconceptions, and it ignites our imagination.
So after diving deep into all of these sources, are you more inclined towards skepticism or openness to the possibility of alien encounters?
Well, that's a question that each listener has to answer for themselves, based on their own evaluation of the evidence and their personal worldview.
There's no right or wrong answer. And I think that's the beauty of this topic. It invites us to think critically, to question our assumptions, and to really embrace the mystery of the unknown.
Absolutely. Whether you believe in alien encounters or not, the vastness of the universe and the potential for life beyond Earth is a source of endless fascination.
It really is. It reminds us that we are part of something much larger than ourselves,
For sure.
and that our journey of discovery is far from over.
So keep looking up, keep asking questions, and keep an open mind.
I love that.
Who knows what wonders might be out there waiting to be discovered.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of alien encounters, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating explorations of the unknown.